సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ సీజే మాట్లాడుతున్నారు లైవ్ ద్వారా చూద్దాం.
In so many agitations and struggles, I have also suffered on account of the emergency excesses. In fact, I lost an academic year in this count. Confronting problems and resolving issues is not something new to me. This period enabled me to interact with persons of various ideologies and broadened my horizons. They taught me as how to live in isolation, in an environment where you cannot express or share your thoughts on any of these issues. I witnessed the resilience of human existence, the power of human struggles, dignity in poverty, and most importantly, unshakable hope and faith. Through these ordinary everyday experiences, I developed the extraordinary fashion of serving the people. Being a first-generation lawyer, I have faced many challenges in my life and realized that except the hard work, there is no shortcut to success. The journey of struggle and bitter experiences in my career helped me to diversify my activities. I had the opportunity of defending the state in several cases. I watched the important events of this country unfolding from close quarters. I always accepted rejection as God's redirection and retained my honesty and integrity. I want every advocate to remember that sometimes life scares you and beats up you, but there is a day when you realize that you are not just a survivor, you are a warrior. You are tougher than anything that is thrown your way. My professional life was also full of challenges. To begin with, I was in two minds, to be a judge or to become the people to offer leadership. I believe in destiny, in God, and the blessings of the Almighty. It has been the honor of my life to be elevated as a judge. I accepted it with all humility. I always remembered myself while functioning as a judge on my privileged obligation to discharge services to this great society. Once I became a judge, I gave my heart and mind to it. From the date I joined bench, I reached the highest possible position in the judiciary. I have subjected to conspiratorial scrutinies. My family and I suffered in silence. But ultimately, the truth will always prevail. Satyameva Jayate. At this juncture, I am reminded the words of Martin Luther King Jr. The ultimate measure of man is not where he stands in the moment of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenges and controversies. Unquote. Anything and everything that I could achieve were only after facing a lot of struggle, setbacks, and hardships in life. I have embraced all the challenges that came my way and strengthened myself and understood that every failure carried with a seed of equivalent advantage. I never claimed myself to be a scholarly judge or a great judge, but I have always believed that the ultimate purpose of justice delivery system is to provide justice to the common man. I have elaborated in my career earlier speeches as how difficult the life of a judge is. Your health also gets ruined in the process. Only judges and lawyers understand this aspect of judges' life. It is for you people, lawyers particularly, to explain to the people of hard work involved in a judge's life. Now coming back to the jurisprudence. In the last 75 years of our jurisprudence have evolved considerably. Our judiciary is not defined by a single order or decision. Yes, at times it fell short of people's expectations, but most of times it has championed the cause of the people. It is widely predicted that the A.K. Gopalan case, the due process of law was history. but this court, in case of Maneka Gandhi, restored what was taken away earlier. Similarly, ADM Jabalpur was seen as a death knell on personal liberty. Subsequently, the error was stood rectified by 9 judges bench in K. S. Puttaswamy. This institution never hesitated to remedy itself. Your hope upon the institution cannot be so weak that it is shattered with one perceived unfair judgment. When it comes to an individual judge, the expectations are very high. In the game of cricket, the player is expected to hit every ball for a six. After all, everyone loves to hit six and win accolades for himself and the team. But only a player knows as how to deal with each ball, given the conditions of the pitch, the style of bowling, and the placement of the fielders. At times, the circumstances may not allow him to score even a single run. The advocates are best placed to understand this predicament of a judge and dispel wrong notions about them. Here I would like to read out the senior advocate, Mr. Sanjay Hegde, wrote in a newspaper article, I quote, "This is in the context where I have decided a case of Anuradha Basin, where right to speech, right to access to internet, etc. There is a criticism that I have not given full relief." I quote that article. When a senior advocate asked Justice Bhagavati about the dichotomy between the reasoning and the relief, that is in Maneka Gandhi and R.D. Sethi, the judge explained that his brother judges were only concerned with the relief being denied in those cases. As long as Justice Bhagavati followed their lead on the relief, he got to write the judgment and lay down doctrine of law that continued to operate deep into the future. Every lawyer who today wins on the basis of R.D. Sethi and Maneka Gandhi judgments owes his victories in no small measure to Bhagavati's foresight, unquote. In earlier days, the bar used to play a proactive role in the resistance. The members of the bar used to willingly associate themselves with various social causes. It is the legal battles initiated by Bar Association that have led to progressive interpretation of the Constitution. It is in this spirit that bar must work to strengthen democracy. One aspect that I want to bring to your notice is my choice of traveling across the country almost every weekend to speak to the public through various events. The popular perception is that the Indian judiciary was alien and quite distant to the general public. There are also still millions of suppressed people who need judicial help, who are apprehensive to approach the judiciary in times of need. My experience so far has convinced that in spite of fulfilling its constitutional mandate, the judiciary does not find adequate reflections in the media, thereby depriving the people of knowledge about the courts and the Constitution. I felt it was my constitutional duty to dispel these notions and bring the court closer to the people by way of generating awareness and building confidence among the people about the judiciary. From what I get to hear from the common people during my visits, I am happy to note that people are able to engage with me on my subject in their language. I have actively tried to promote a sense of belongingness of the people with the system. My constant endeavor was to make the people aware, not just about their rights and obligations, but also about the constitutional scheme and democratic values and the institutions. My sincere efforts was to initiate a dialogue. As a part of my public speaking engagements, I have focused on certain subjects of institutional importance. The focal point of any justice delivery system is the litigant, the justice seeker. But our system, practice, rules being colonial in regime may not be best suited to the needs of Indian population. The need of the hour is the Indianization of our legal system. When I say Indianization, I mean the need to adapt to the practical realities of our society and localize our judicial delivery system. I have pushed for modernization of judicial infrastructure.